Hello, Mr. Fisher. How are you doing today? What? Zombies? No, 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 no. I'm a zombie slayer. They couldn't possibly be terrorizing the village. Wait, what? No, your cousin Bob saw it? Oh, oh, a zombie bit a villager and turned him into a zombie. Oh, that's not good. Oh, there's a cure? There's a cure? Oh, oh, Professor Apple Cure up in the village has a way to fix it. Or he thinks he does, but he needs to do some research? Huh. Well, I mean, what does he need? He needs zombies, he needs a safe place, and he needs facilities. Hmm. Hmm. I actually know just the thing. I'll tell you what, you guys kick back, you relax. I need to go set some stuff up and get prepared for this. But could you tell the villagers I'm going to be away for a while? I have to go to another dimension to get all this working. All right. Well, fantastic. You guys keep staying away from the zombies. We don't want anything to happen to you. Stay safe out there. I did throw some torches down. The light should scare the zombies away, so you should be good for a little while. But with that, I'm actually going to run off and don't worry about it. I will make Professor Applecure a place where he can study the zombies safely and in peace. Hey there, welcome back to my little world that I'm working on here. It's been a fun journey so far. We've gotten a few things with the interior done. You can see I've been working on the exterior a little bit, adding some texture to it. I've taken some oak and turned it into oak planks, and I've kind of swapped out a few of these little bits here. And it's given it just a little bit of texture. I've added a flower box up there. I've got a bit of a rail. We're starting to kind of get some stairs going here. I don't have them connected up to the ground. I am still going to terraform this and smooth it out, so I don't know how far down these stairs really need to go. But, the house has been coming along nicely, slowly but surely. I've extended out my railing, made this a little bit nicer. I threw in a couple of plants. Ooh, berries, yum. And we, still have a couple of rooms that we need to do on the inside. But I've been grinding away on my zombie spawner a little bit, getting some things taken care of. And I thought, you know what? It's ugly. I hate it. It's a boring place. So in this episode, I think we're going to go on an adventure to collect some resources to start making it work out a lot better. And in order to do that, we're going to need to go to the Nether. The biggest thing that I need from the Nether is going to be soul sand. I can use soul sand in water to create a bubble elevator. And that bubble elevator will let me move the zombies around a little bit better, set them up so that I can kill them easier. And since we're doing that anyway, we might as well decorate the place, which I'll do completely off camera for the next episode, I think. But we just need to kind of get cracking. So there's a few things that we need for the Nether. The biggest one is obsidian. Now, if you remember from the first episode, we have found a little bit of obsidian in the past, and it came in chests around those nether portals, or the broken ones, that weren't any good. But the other way to get obsidian is you can get water, which I've got prepared here. We can place it down somewhere, and it will turn lava into obsidian. Now, if you're going to mine obsidian, you have to have a diamond pick. Okay, so this takes a little bit of time, even with our... Is this efficiency 5? Yeah, our efficiency 5 pick, which is as fast as we can mine. It still takes just a little bit. So boop, boop, boop. And, it's not fast, but it'll get us there. Now, to do this, I'm going to need at least 10 pieces. So we'll go ahead, mine some of it up. And as you can see, the water I placed down, because of where it's at, is actually... Oh, just destroyed a piece of obsidian. Not a completely true statement. But it was mostly pushing the obsidian back into me, so that I could just collect it as I was going along. But as the water spreads, it hits more of this lava, turns more of it into obsidian, and it'll let us keep going a lot of mining. And as you can see, that happened real fast. But if I mine on the edge right here with my flowing water, the water will move faster than the block flies into the obsidian. So as long as I still have some water stream left from my drop off for that total of 7 blocks like we've discussed, it'll let me keep mining. Now let's see, is this block number 7? No, we got one more, I think. There we go. So we're 7 blocks out. If we mine now, all of a sudden, boom, the water didn't spread, but the lava flowed into it, and that created some cobblestone. That's I wouldn't call it an important feature or detail by any means, but it is something that is useful for something that we're going to do later on. Early game, if you set it up right, you can actually use a single water source and your single lava source together to create a cobble generator. So if I mine this out, it'll flow and it'll recreate more cobble. So I can actually get infinite cobble almost as soon as I want in the game. All I really need is a bucket, someplace with a little water, and that lava. So we'll actually be utilizing that to do some automatic bone meal farming later. Mostly for the purposes of turning that bone meal into bone blocks, which I really love to build out of. But without a skeleton spawner right at the beginning, it's kind of a little bit of a pain to get them. It's not impossible. I mean, I could be throwing my extra seeds from my wheat farm into a composter, which we've talked about previously, and I could be generating slow but sure bone meal that way. It takes a really long time, though, so it's not something I'm super interested in doing. But as the sun's setting, let's take a look out at our little world here. Now, all right, we got a little standing platform. We got our village down there, and we got a river that comes through here. We got our fishing thing. But what I want to do, slightly longer term, is terraform this down, get it so it makes sense with our building and it's not floating anymore. And then I want to create a little path kind of down the mountain, kind of at a diagonal here, and connect it up with a bridge over there. And then I want to bring a bridge into the backside of the village to kind of connect all of this, which will give me a lot of easily traversable and accessible land that I can start playing with a little more, start adding in some more buildings, and get everything, nice and neat. And then over here, at some point, I think I'm going to build myself a little trading hall of sorts, so I can start getting some villager trading going, which will be absolutely brilliant and fantastic. But first, let's go ahead and run off to sleep. Okay. Yep, good. Now, let's make our way over to this side over here. Since I want to connect this anyway, I'm going to put my Nether Portal right there. And it's going to take us a minute just because this terrain is not ideal for traveling yet. But the reason I'm going to put it over there, let's see, what's the easiest way to get up there? Always a challenge early in the game, especially since the Cave and Cliffs update. It didn't used to be quite this extreme, and there I go, jumping and trying to kill myself. But with the cliffs, they're beautiful, they're amazing, they're magnificent. They're also a pain to climb. So let's just start building ourselves a little bit of a path here. But yeah, so the reason I'm going so far away from my house is because I don't want my Nether Portal right where I'm hanging out all the time. It makes some sound effects, which, it's fine. They're pretty subtle, kind of whooshy. But on top of that, zombie I believe it's Pigmen. They've changed, renamed, and rebranded a couple times, so I'm not completely sure what they're called at the moment. But they can actually come through the portal into our side. And let's see, we'll take some of that dirt we just dug up and bridge on over. There we go. All right, and I guess I should eat a little bit while we're talking here. Um, so I don't really want them getting into the base. In particular, they won't really attack unless you attack them. We'll get to kind of see them here in action uh, once we get into the Nether. But let's see, just clearing out some space, make it nice and smooth. Um, but they're they're going to be a thing. I just don't want them wandering around my base. Now, to build a Nether portal, there are minimum size requirements for it. All right, and that minimum size is 2 wide and 1, 2, 3 tall, and it has to be a solid frame. If you find some crying obsidian, um, you can mine it, and it looks pretty. It's a lot better than this stuff, but it will not work for your portal. If you want to decorate around the portal and all that, of course, that's perfectly fair game. It's just not going to work for this. Now, the next thing we're going to need is some flint and steel. Now, you can find one of these in a chest, which is where I got mine. If you don't find one, you can actually make one really easy. You just need an iron ingot and a piece of flint. Flint isn't something that's just a mineable block. You actually get it by shoveling gravel. And sometimes gravel will drop the piece of gravel as well as a piece of flint. You can use that to then make your flint and steel. And once you have it, you can actually, let's just light things on fire. And it can spread and all of that. Across grass, it'll burn trees down. But the other big use for it is, boom, Nether Portal. All right, so we're going to be hopping in there in just a moment. I'm going to throw some things together to hopefully make this a little bit easier for myself. Depending on what biome we end up in, things could go terribly wrong, terribly quickly. So I do want to be prepared. I'm personally hoping for a Soul Sand Valley right off the bat, so I can just get in and get out. Definitely want to get myself some soul sand. If there's some really easy to get magma blocks, I'm going to grab a stack or 2 of those as well. And maybe some nether wart, a couple of blaze rods if I can find them. But it really just depends on where we spawn in once we go through here. But anyway, I'll get that stuff set up and started, and we will meet back here to hop in together for a first view of what we're dealing with together. All right, I've gone ahead, made a couple of little preparations, and I think I'm just about ready to go into the nether. So I'll go ahead and show you the things that I'm bringing and some of the things that you should consider. All right, let's go into our inventory here. So one thing you'll notice, I'm not wearing my diamond pants. And there's actually a good reason for that. I'm going to bring these gold ones. I could have gone with a gold helmet, maybe, but it was actually better than my pants as far as what's on it. I didn't want to swap out my boots. Definitely want to keep the chest plate because it provides the most protection out of everything. But while I was grinding zombies, I managed to get a few pairs of enchanted pants off of them, which I utilized to combine these up on one of our anvils. I'm also going to be bringing a stack of my utility wood in case I need to put something together real fast, make a hidey hole or something like that. Maybe I need to make a chest for some reason. You know, there's all kinds of things. Always good to have our utility wood. I'm bringing some torches with us, a little bit of extra coal and some sticks to make some more if I need them. It is possible to get more coal while you're in the nether. You have to kill wither skeletons, and I think that's the only thing that drops it, unless we were to do some trading with the piglins, which brings us back to the gold pants. Piglins are hostile unless you follow the dress code. And the dress code is you must wear some gold. Um, so in case we run into a bunch of them right off the bat, I don't really want to fight them unless I have to. So we're going to try and avoid that by wearing our gold pants. I'm also going to be bringing along a little of our extra obsidian and a flint and steel in case I need to make another portal in the nether to get out for some reason. Maybe I'll end up stranded on a lava island or something like that, which isn't common, but it is entirely possible while we're in the nether. I'm bringing along a bucket just because I like to always have a bucket. Normally, I'd have it full of water in case something happened. And I had to, put a fire out if I step into lava, which sounds like a great idea in the nether, except it's so hot there, your water will instantly evaporate and it'll become useless anyway. So we don't really need to worry about that. You can actually bring a cauldron with you, and then fill it up with water and jump in it if you need to. Or at least that used to work. I'm not sure if that's still a thing in 1.18 now that I think about it. But otherwise, we're bringing some food. I am bringing my tools. I don't know if I'll need the axe or not, so it's almost worth leaving here. But, well, we'll see. Actually, you know what? It is worth bringing. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and craft up another tool. I'm going to bring a hoe. One of the things that I would like to bring back is some of the nether woods and some of the blocks that go with it. Let's see, crafting table. Oh, I need 2 diamonds for a hoe. That's right. Boop, boop. All right, there's our hoe. And let's just get some basic enchantments on it. Okay. Oh, Fortune 3. I don't know if that's going to help us or not, but I am not going to be upset by that. Fortune 3, Efficiency 4. Could stand to have a little bit of unbreaking on it, but that's all right. I'm not going to worry too much about that. All right, we'll get that sorted out a little bit later. But anyway, with that, I think I'm personally good to start heading to the nether. And I did make us a cheaty little bridge over here, just temporarily so we can get back over there. Just a touch easier for the time being until we start getting our roads in place. Let's see there we are. All right. Now, this is definitely not where my bridge is ultimately going to be to get over here from the house. Oh, that was terrifying. Oh. All right, let's dig ourselves out of the hole. You see, I tried to plan for this, and it just didn't work. Let's see, I should be able to, dig in here and scale up the side of the mountain. This will all get changed and tweaked a little bit and covered anyway, so I'm not too worried about doing a little damage to it. In fact, as big as these worlds can get sometimes, I'd probably leave this alone. People wouldn't even notice it eventually. We'll leave the iron. Oh. Right. Pro tip, gravel falls. Oh, there was a couple of pieces of flint like I was talking about before. It's super common to begin with, but if you have fortune on your shovel, it's more likely to drop. All right, we see daylight again. All right, back up here. That was a silly rookie mistake. It's a good thing we got that feather fallen. All right. Eat a little bit more before we go into the nether. Now, last thing I wanted to highlight is down on my hotbar, I have this book and quill. I made that with a feather, which I got from a friendly donation from a chicken, a book, and an ink sac from the squid, who, for some reason, been jumping on the land when I go to read. Now, if I right-click, I can start typing in here, and it doesn't really matter what I type. I'm going to bring this along to keep track of coordinates. There's a lot of ways to do it. Some people will just hit F3 and take a screenshot. If you're looking on the left-hand side, that second grouping at the very top's got an XYZ. That's your position in the world, and it'll help you find things easier. Um, but in fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and overworld Nether Portal uh, XYZ, and we're at 574.112. Negative 1969. All right. So we're done. We've saved it. Now, if we open it back up, our note will still be there right where we put it. Now, Nether side portal. All right, we'll just get this set up for us so we can put it in real fast. We don't know what we're going to find when we go into the Nether. So I want to be ready and prepared. Hopefully it's going to be a somewhat peaceful entrance. I did bring my shield, which I just crafted up specifically for this. It's got unbreaking and vanishing on it. And for some reason, it doesn't seem like vanishing's affecting me, which I'm kind of surprised by. I should be just a floating suit of armor at this point. But apparently that's not the case, so I'll have to play with that with some other stuff later. But when you're getting shot at, you can right-click. It'll hold your shield up and hopefully block things off. But with that, let's go ahead and get into the Nether and see what we're dealing with. All right. Okay, so far so good. We did spawn kind of on the side of a cliff. Oh, but this is excellent. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but the next two best outcomes definitely just happened, which is why I brought my hoe, actually. So this is a crimson forest, and that's a warped forest, I believe. Within there, they have some loot drops and things that we can excavate that I'm excited to get my hands on for some additional building resources and colors. Now, the reason we brought some utility blocks is the Nether is a dangerous place at best to begin with. Let's just go ahead and jump down here. Let's put that fire out. Let's build ourselves a stairwell to get back up. All right, so I did see some gravel over here. I think that's just a continuation of the nether wastes, so that's fine. One thing I want to point out, these tall, dark, and handsome guys right here, they are Endermen. They're semi-passive, definitely hostile if you do the wrong thing mobs. And they hit really hard. And I'm collecting us up some quartz while we're here. I'm going to need that for redstone things that I want to do in the near future. It'll let me make things like comparators, daylight sensors, observers, some things like that, which will be fantastic when we get to some of our automation later. That back there is glowstone. Got a little up here. I'm going to collect some of that while we're here. And we're gonna have a good old time. But yeah, so if you look these guys straight in the face, the eyes, they will go ballistic. They hate it, and they will start attacking you. They hit fairly hard, especially before you have all of your really good armor set up. Ours is okay, so I can tackle a couple of them if I have to, but I don't want to. All right, and this is a zombie piglin. We'll get back to him and the things you should and shouldn't do with zombie piglin here in a moment. One of the things I do want with these Endermen, though, I want Ender Pearls. And Ender Pearls are fantastic, so I'm building myself a coward hole. They are too tall to get in here. Now let's look at him. All right, see he's mad now? Now he's going to come after us. And he can't get in here, but he's going to keep trying. All right, and we're going to slice him. Oh, that's a horrifying sound. Let's see. Ender Pearl? Ender Pearl? Ender Pearl? Oh, I didn't get any Ender Pearls. Okay, we're going to have to do that a few more times. They dropped something called an Ender Pearl, which we're going to need if we're going to get to the end. and that is something that we're going to want to do eventually. There's good resources in the end. That's where we can get our elytra. Oh, come on. Get back here. I said, I said, I said I'm looking at you. There you go. Now you're mad. And the elytra is what's going to let us fly around our world, travel around a lot faster. So that's definitely something we really want. We also want... Oh, get back here. Oh, he's disappeared. Okay. No, 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 sir. No, sir. But there's also things like shulker boxes, which will allow us to have storage inside of our inventory. So it's a chest that you can fill up and take with you, still filled. Now, these guys, these are the zombie Pigmen. I'm not sure what they're currently called. They had a name change back in, like, version 112 or something. But they are okay as long as you don't hit them on accident or on purpose. There are designs for gold farms out there that you can build where you want to do it on purpose, but it's not something that you want to go for right off the bat. It's going to be a bad day. So we're going to go ahead and leave them alone. We're also going to leave this guy alone. Hey, guy, this is one of the piglins I was talking about. Since I'm wearing gold pants, he thinks I'm one of them. So he's going to leave me alone. We're cool right now as long as I don't attack him. And, you know, we'll continue on with that. Let's see, where's our hoe at? All right. A little bit better hoe would be nice for this, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead, start collecting some blocks here. I'm going to search around for actually the only other biome. We've hit 3 of them so far. That over there is the Netherway, so that's the Crimson Forest. The only one left is the Soul Sand Valley, which hopefully I'll find. If not, maybe I'll find another fortress. It's a big Darkstone Castle looking thing that we're going to find in here. And we're going to raid it, loot it. I don't know if we'll get to that today if I have time. Maybe, maybe not. But that's also where I would find withered skeletons. Wow, it took me a minute to think of that. And withered skeletons will drop their heads, which, you know, is kind of whatever. You can actually put it on as a mask or in place of your helmet if you want. And it'll let you run around looking like a scary monster, maybe spook the villagers or your friends if you're playing on a server. But the other use, if you can get 3 of them, you can summon the Nether boss, which is the Wither. And he's a bit of a hard guy to fight. I'm actually not good at it. So when we get that far, I'll probably end up doing some slightly... you could call it cheaty stuff. I'm not going to make it so he absolutely can't move, but I am going to limit his movements by fighting him in a cave, probably. I don't know. We'll see once we get that far. The Wither definitely scares me, so we'll see once we get that far. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep collecting these resources. It's a little bit boring. I'm going to be sticking in this close by area for the time being, and we'll just keep cracking along this way. And, oh, these in particular I'm actually really excited about. They're shroom lights. And actually the glowstone's something that I'm excited for as well. Because right now we don't have a lot of different options when it comes to lighting up our area and making it mob-proof. So this is going to give me more texture options, more things that I can do that I wasn't doing yet. And it's just going to help us move our building into another level. You could call it next dimensional, if you will. Yeah, see what I did there? But otherwise, I will catch back up with you guys at the house. Probably, unless I find something else worth mentioning down here, I'll pop back in, kind of showcase it a little bit, and we'll discuss some of the things with it. Um, but okay. Almost scared me. I thought he was a brute. There's some of these guys that wear like a lot darker or something. They're brutes. They guard bastions, which is kind of the ceremonial ancient destroyed homes of these guys. But anyway, like I said, with that, I'm going to hop off, collect some resources, and we'll get back together in a little bit. All right, I haven't found exactly what I came down here for yet, but I did want to actually show off something. In the Nether, you have the lava lakes. And if we go down, we're not going to go in because they can actually go really deep, but they essentially spawn at, I believe, layer 32 based off of this. For some reason, I was mentally thinking that it's 30. But I've dug myself kind of a haphazard staircase of sorts. Sketchily goes up and around, back up to the top up here. But I've slowly dug my way down because I saw a whole bunch of these magma blocks. And I think I mentioned them real briefly in the first episode. The magma blocks in and of themselves are harmless as long as you know how to deal with them. If you hold shift and crouch, you can walk over them. You won't take any damage at all. But as soon as you let go of that, you start taking a little bit of damage from them. But one of the things I like about them is they're a good way to get some mob farming going on. And in the event you ever need industrial quantities of gravel, Nether, not a bad place to get it. And there's that flint I was talking about earlier. But right now it's just in our way because I want this magma. And that'll let me get some things going on. Now, one thing that I would advise is when you're digging in the Nether, don't dig in a place where if you were in the overworld, water could get to you. The reason being is the Nether is full, and I mean full, of lava. And it can be hiding anywhere. It doesn't have to just be in the lava lakes or any of that kind of thing. See, I'm doing exactly what I just said you shouldn't. But it can flow down on you. And I do actually have an escape path since there's a block here. If I get lava coming, I can run real fast. The lava will stop here. So we're, I wouldn't say safe. Okay, we're safe-ish for the moment. Okay, starting to accumulate too much stuff. So I'm going to have to go back up to the overworld here in a minute. What do I not want? I don't want Netherrack. Netherrack is dumb. Actually, I love Netherrack. I'm going to start using that for some of my wire framing as I get into my buildings later. Because, like I said before, Instamine. That's a whole little tunnel just instantly. In fact, be careful when you do this. But I'm going to show you. You can tunnel through the Nether really fast. In fact, sometimes one of your safer ways to travel through the Nether is to go way up to the top or way to the bottom if you can get around the lava lakes, and just tunnel your way through. You can see I've got my F3 screen up, and about halfway down under our XYZ, there's a thing that says Biome Minecraft. That'll tell us what biome we're in. So if I'm looking for something specific, but I don't want to deal with the rest of the Nether, for whatever reason, there's a lot of good ones, trust me. I can just tunnel my way to where I want and then dig up or dig down. You'll notice that there's a lot of open space here, and I'm pretty close to the bottom of the Nether, so don't ever dig straight down. If you're going to, consider it, let's just go find ourselves a spot to kind of showcase it. The closest to straight down I would ever do is back and forth. So I'd pick myself a block, and next to it, I'd dig down. And then I would dig down on this one. You still have the chance of opening up a lava pocket that you're not going to be able to close, though. So that's going to be a little risky. You can expand this out to more of a 4x4 area. or 5x5, 6x6, so you can dig kind of a bigger hole and have an idea of what you're digging down into. Which, if you want a straight hole down, that's probably ideal. Um, hello, Mr. Enderman. No, don't push us off. Oh, almost had a heart attack there. Um, so there's a couple of options. I'm going to head back up to the overworld now, drop off some loot, come back down here. I'm actually going to use that tunneling method, I think, to get over to a soul sand valley, which has what I want in it. This early in the game, it's kind of a... okay, that's the one thing with the nether. I always lose my tunnels. I know it's... oh, there it is. Everything just blends together with this netherrack. Okay, so up is where I want to go. This is sketchy. Uh-huh. Guardrails, because safety first. I mean, we're so much about safety, we have work clothes, right? But the work clothes are not for adventuring. You can also see I've got torches I'm following on my way back now. Without using coordinates, this is going to be the easiest way to get a direct line to where I want to go. And as I run across things like that, I can just modify it and make my way back if I can find the torches that I placed. Which, there we go. There's my little stairwell that I've made down into this section, and as you can see, our nether portal's right there. So I really haven't even gotten that far yet. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of show off those lava pools, kind of talk about the magma blocks a little bit, and start doing some things with that. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Oh, red mushroom. Oh, that's exciting. I can farm that into a... let's get rid of Netherrack. There's Netherrack for days and years, and it's quick to pick up. Yeah, red and brown mushrooms will be down here sometimes, and I will show you how to farm those in the near future once I start getting some things set up a little bit better with my automation and such. And as you can tell, it hasn't even been that long since my last recording, because I have not actually gathered that much stuff. I am kind of sorting it out into this over here is like my miscellaneous pile. And then I've got my warped forest, my crimson forest stuff, and my generic nether waste. I did want to mention there is one more biome I forgot about, and that is the basalt deltas. If I find one, I will definitely be showing it off in this episode. It was the one biome I definitely, no matter what, did not want to spot into if I could avoid it. Granted, this is luck of the draw and Russian roulette, but it's a scary place. It's really hard to navigate, especially compared to the rest of everything else. But I'm going to be hopping right back into that nether, grabbing some more stuff, hopefully get the things I want to improve that zombie spawner in the next episode. And I'll show you everything that I get once I'm all wrapped up and finished. But in the meantime, I guess you're just going to have to sit on pins and needles, because even though it might be hours for me, it's going to be like 2 seconds for you. So, see you in a minute. All right, bringing you back in again. I did actually discover, after I changed my mind on the tunneling thing, that just across the lava lake from our nether portal, which is right about there, just at a distance, I do in fact have a soul sand valley, which has exactly what I came for, which is the soul sand. You can hear it moaning as we collect the souls of... I don't even know. Now, one thing with soul sand that's kind of worth mentioning, if you notice while I'm on it, I'm going a little bit slower, and we'll notice this once I get off. There we go. Now I'm going faster. It does slow you down. There's an enchantment that you can get called Soul Speed, which if you put it on your boots, will let you move faster through the soul sand, just like Depth Strider will let you go faster through water. So that's definitely a thing worth considering if you're going to spend a lot of time in soul sand valleys. Now, the soul soil, I don't know all of the uses for it, but one I do know is that we can combine it with a torch when we make it. And instead of that red light that we get, we're going to get ourselves a blue light instead. And it'll burn like this. In fact, if I light it on fire as is, it'll burn like this. So we can do that with our flint and steel, give us a couple more decorating options. And all kinds of fabulous things. Now, the bone block I was talking about does actually spawn naturally in these soul sand valleys. And I haven't mentioned it just because it's really rare to find them in my experience. But in the overworld, there actually are fossils, which is what the bone block was originally used for. Sometimes if you're digging at certain levels, and I have no idea what they are anymore, with the 1.18 update, you'll end up coming across a buried fossil. So, kind of like dinosaurs. One thing that's noteworthy here in the soul sand valleys, skeletons spawn. So as you're going along, you're going to want to be kind of prepared for them. Oh, and ghasts. Oh, a deadly combination right there. Actually, are we feeling brave? I think we're feeling brave. Let's try and get an achievement. He's going to shoot us with a fireball. We're going to hit it back. Oh, no. Didn't get him. If I can get him with his own fireball, I will get an achievement here. Return to sender. He's blowing stuff up. Let's... Alright. I'm not as good as I think I am, apparently. Let's go ahead and switch over to the bow. Oh, we're on fire. This is bad. This is bad. Let's eat some food. Eat some food. Okay, I think we'll be okay. Let's just... There we go. Our first ghast battle. And I got... Uh-oh. There's another one. Yeah, they're probably one of the scariest mobs for most people in the Nether. They just kind of pop up out of nowhere. They hit you while you're not looking. Is that a... Yeah, that's another skeleton. But anyway, the Soul Sand Valley just goes on for a really long time. And that thing that sounds like a crying child in the background, that is the ghast. So we're going to go ahead, collect just a couple more things here. I have gotten what I came for, plus a few extra goodies. So I'm going to go ahead and start working my way back out of the Nether, I think. Quit while we're ahead. Not get too greedy. I mean, we're already almost getting ourselves killed by... I don't know if there's one around really close. That is basalt. Sometimes you'll see that in the basalt delta. I don't think we're going to go there today. We've already explored far enough. We've risked life and limb and our gear for that matter. So I say we quit while we're ahead. Let's head back to the house, recap just a little bit about what we've accomplished, what we've seen, some of the... Oh, more red mushrooms. Some of the things that we've got. There's also other features to explore in the Nether as well. So we'll talk about some of those things that we can do a little bit further in the future. But otherwise, we're going to make a quick jump over to home, and I will see you there in just a moment. Alright, welcome back up to the house. I think we had ourselves a fun little mini adventure today. Got into the Nether, saw most of the biomes. managed to collect a few things that we need for Professor Applecure to get started on their zombie research, and we're going to help them out with that. It's the least we can do. We are here to protect our village, and if zombies are the problem, we've got the cure. We've got the solution. We've got a plan. But anyway, let's just take a real quick look. I didn't really get that far in there. The Nether is a place I always take it slow, personally. So everything that I pulled out of there is contained in this here little chest. Of particular note, we got our couple of shroom lights and some glowstone, a little extra glowstone dust. We have a whole bunch of netherrack, which we can use as scaffolding. We got some of the nether wart blocks, warped mycelium, which is going to be something I'm going to go pick up a little bit more of here in the future. It's going to let me grow mushrooms in places that I normally couldn't, without having to have silk touch to be able to do it. But we got crimson fungus and warped fungus, which can help us grow more of those trees here in the overworld, if I remember correctly. Haven't actually done it, so I'll have to see on that one. I did get us some weeping vines, some warped roots, some of those crimson roots, bunch of decorative blocks that we can start adding to various places, and of course our nether quartz, which will um, function for a lot of redstone stuff for us. It can also be combined, four of these into one block, I believe it is, and that will become a really nice white building block. Um, I don't utilize it that much. I actually rather use the bone block personally, for a couple of different reasons. Sometimes quartz is the answer. It is a little bit different shade and it's got some texture options that the bone block doesn't. But for now, I think we're going to call it a successful day and a successful adventure. Looks like it's high noon right now, so I'm going to go tell Mr. Fisher the good news and make sure that he knows we are on the job and we've got things prepped up. And then I'm going to collect a couple other little basic things off camera that really, well, they're boring. I'm going to need a whole bunch of sand in particular because what I want to do to the zombie spawner is going to require a lot of it. But anyway, with that, it has been real. It has been fun. I really appreciate you taking the time to come hang out with me today. And I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow at our next video. Bye now.